Castle by Doscst Institute of Computing and Engineering.
Sunshine Grace of Lava,
Mark Oliver Alvida from the Institute of Education and Teacher Training.
Iskala Alinyabon
Edson Gilbert Palmahin.
from San Isidro Extension, Claudine Pubadura Sumaya,
Allen Winston.
Institute of Business and Public Affairs. Emeline Quijana Murillo,
Gomez Juan Plania.
Panay Extension Campus.
Carl Xavier Brano, representing Compilation Extension Campus, Empresario.
Kathleen Cortez Lorano,
Daniel Ortiz Pumor representing Sciences.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host, Mr. Siglakas and Shane Douglas.
good evening, Davao Oriental State University.
Hi everyone, good evening, and good evening, Shane. Welcome to the grandest pageant night of Mr and Ms Siglakas 2019.
Welcome to the Super Bowl of Beauty, Masculinity, and Wit.
Wow, it's really an honor to share this stage with you, Shane. To get into our first set of special and corporate.
Corporate Awards.
I know you have your own bets, so let this ball rolling with our first special award. The Siglakas Photogenic.
Genic Award is given to Mr.
And the Siglakas Photogenic Award is number 5. Miss Siglakas, number 5, Emeline Murillo of BEC, Panay Extension Campus. Our Mr and Ms Siglakas Photogenic Award is of course to be awarded by our official photographer, Mr. Martin Leyva. Miss Siglakas personality is candidate number newly hailed Mr.
Is it made of courage and of course determination. And my advice to the next, of course, to our successor, be reminded that wearing a crown is not just about giving the beauty that what Doscst has, but also wearing a crown, you must put in your heart that it is a responsibility.
Alright, very well said, Miss Lester Wating and Mr. Efren Gambo. It's hard to let go of the crown, but in a few moments, we will be declaring our new Mr and Ms Siglakas 2019.
Level of excitement in the Mr and Ms Siglakas 2019, the pageant night. This time, let us be astounded as we continue the battle of
Don't let you be on the
Siglakas, the excitement does not end there. The tension is mounting as we are now halfway in determining this
With a preliminary question. Our question for Ms. Siglakas number 1. What are your biggest sacrifices in joining the Mr and Ms Siglakas pageant? What are your biggest sacrifices in joining the Mr and Ms Siglakas pageant?
Thank you for that question, sir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Joining in this kind of pageant is not an easy thing to do because we need to sacrifice a lot. In me, I sacrificed I know in myself that I have this fear to face many people because I am afraid to be humiliated and I am afraid to take the risk. But here I am in front of you, showing what I've got and sacrificing this fear inside of me to show to everyone that I can compete and I can do and win this pageant. Thank you.
Very well said, Ms.
the
Siglakas.
question and answer portion with our Mr. Siglakas number 1, King Jassel Villamor from the Institute of Computing and Engineering. Okay, for Mr. Villamor, the question says, how does involvement in sports affect a student's life or well-being? Again, how does involvement in sports affect a student's life or well-being?
Sports can affect our well-being because through sports we promote the sportsmanship and the true essence of camaraderie and friendship. We build the confidence in making things that we want to do, and for that it builds up confidence to ourselves that we can do anything, because do not belittle yourself because even a pebble can stumble a giant. And that would be all. Thank you.
Institute of Education and Teacher Training. Okay, for candidate number 2, the question is, aside from yourself, who do you think deserves to be crowned as Mr. and Ms Siglakas 2019 and why? Okay, again, aside from yourself, who do you think deserves to be crowned as Mr. and Ms Siglakas 2019 and why?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that very subjective question. Now, going back to the question, aside from myself, who do you think will I be choosing to be the next Mr. and Ms Siglakas 2019? Of course, the answer is very clear, and that is all of us. Why all of us? Because all of us attained our working hard or hard work, and we all have patience in ourselves. We all believe that we can do it, and before this pageant begins, we all strive to see ourselves as something that are not competitors, but something that we can learn something into and can grow with each other. Therefore, aside from myself, I would gladly try to promote my other competitors and my other opponents, because this is not about competition. This is about Siglakas bigger and better. And this is about promoting what you can do to others and not just to yourself. And that would be all. Thank you.
And why is this so? Okay, again, in your opinion,
There's no sports system. Why? Because as long as we are united, we are playing the game as a Filipino. We are all committed with ever what is the sports we are into, because we are